You want to know how to be successful? How to be great? Let me start by telling you something most people don't want to hear. Greatness is not comfortable. Success isn't built on balance, and no one becomes truly wealthy, truly impactful, by following the safe path laid out by others. I've been called crazy more times than I can count. People laughed when I sold everything and bet it all on electric cars, reusable rockets, and colonies on Mars. They said I was arrogant, that I didn't understand how the world works, that I was going to fail, publicly, catastrophically. Maybe they were right, but I didn't care. You see, I don't wake up in the morning wondering what's easy. I wake up thinking what's necessary, what's possible, what's going to move humanity forward. The first step to becoming great is to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to validate your dreams. They won't. Most people are too afraid of their own failure to support your ambition. That's not hate, it's fear reflected. You need to become deaf to doubt, not ignorant, deaf. Listen, learn, but don't let noise become your compass. I didn't build Tesla because I wanted to make cars. I built it because we needed a reason to believe the future could be better. I didn't launch SpaceX because rockets are cool. I did it because humanity must become a multi-planetary species, or we're just waiting for extinction. Success begins with a reason bigger than you. Money is just a consequence. Greatness is what happens when your purpose consumes you. People say I work too much, that I should relax. But they don't understand. I can't relax. Not because I'm addicted to work, but because I see what's at stake. I see a world burning in chaos and complacency. I see opportunity dying in boardrooms ruled by fear. You want to be rich? Then stop chasing money. Start solving real problems. The world is full of them. Climate, education, healthcare, space, AI, freedom of speech. Pick one, get obsessed, and don't stop until you change the trajectory. This is not about building a career, it's about building impact. Money is a shadow of value. Chase value and wealth follows. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs more builders, more risk takers, more people willing to burn their old lives to the ground and create something new from the ashes. If you want to be great, if you truly want to succeed, you have to become immune to failure. Not because you won't fail, you will, but because failure no longer controls you. I've had rockets explode on the launch pad. I've nearly gone bankrupt. I've been humiliated in public. But here's the truth. None of it matters if the mission stays alive. Pain is part of progress. Discomfort is data. Every setback is a test, not of your idea, but of your resilience. Can you get back up? Can you look at the smoldering wreckage and say, let's try again, but better? When I was sleeping on a couch, pouring every dollar into SpaceX and Tesla, it wasn't glamorous. I didn't have a safety net. I wasn't thinking about stock prices or public image. I was thinking, if I give up now, the dream dies, and that's unacceptable. That's what separates those who talk from those who build. Belief, real belief, means acting when no one claps, no one invests, no one understands. It's about placing bets not on what is, but on what could be. That's how you shape the future. You want to believe in the future? Then build a future worth believing in. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Don't complain about the world unless you're willing to rebuild it. It's easy to be cynical. It's easy to mock big dreams. But cynicism never built a rocket. Skepticism never cured disease. Playing it safe never created revolutions. We are standing at the edge of immense possibility. AI is awakening. Space is opening. Energy is transforming. But these tools are just that, tools. They're not the answer. You are. Greatness isn't about being smarter than everyone else. It's about working longer, caring deeper, and daring to do what others are too afraid to even imagine. So, stop asking, how do I get rich? Ask, what am I willing to suffer for? Ask, what future can I dedicate my life to? Ask, what would I build if I wasn't afraid? Then go build it, obsessively, relentlessly, with everything you've got. Because the future doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who show up. Leading, burning, believing, and never backing down. Let's talk about wealth. Real wealth is not just about numbers in a bank account. It's about leverage, the ability to turn your ideas into impact. It's about building machines that build other machines. It's about creating systems that scale far beyond yourself. People often ask me, Elon, how can I be rich like you? And I tell them, you're asking the wrong question. You don't become wealthy by chasing money. You become wealthy by chasing value. Solve $1 billion problem, and you'll have $1 billion. Simple as that. Tesla wasn't built to make me rich. It was built because the world needed a catalyst for sustainable energy. SpaceX wasn't built for profits. It was built because humanity must become multiplanetary to survive. And the wealth came because of that mission, not instead of it. If you want to build true wealth, don't chase comfort, chase discomfort. Run toward the hardest problems. Most people avoid difficulty. That's your advantage, because the harder the problem, the fewer people there are trying to solve it. That's where the gold is. Want to stand out? Work 100 hours when others work 40? Not because hustle is the goal, but because you're possessed by something greater than yourself, something that doesn't let you sleep easy, a vision that won't leave you alone. And if you don't have that kind of vision yet, that's okay. But go looking for it. Try things, fail fast, learn, take insane risks while you're young, while you can afford it, because mediocrity waits for no one. It will pull you in like gravity if you're not actively fighting it. The moment you do find your thing, your Mars, everything changes. You stop thinking about vacations and weekends. You start living for Mondays, because you're building something that matters, something that could outlive you. And if you truly want to be great, to be wealthy, to be remembered, then make sure your work serves others, not just your ego, not just your portfolio, but humanity. Solve problems that make life better for everyone. That's what the world rewards. That's what history remembers. We're entering an age where average is automated, where basic skills are replaceable, but courage, vision, the ability to think from first principles and build the impossible, that's irreplaceable. Be that person. Be the anomaly. Be the unreasonable one. The one they laugh at before they quote. The one they doubt until they follow. Because greatness has never been about fitting in. It's always been about standing alone, first, and then showing the world what's possible. You know what I think the world is missing most right now? Hope. Not blind optimism, not sugar-coated slogans, but rational hope grounded in action, in engineering, in possibility. A belief that tomorrow can be better if we build it. There's so much cynicism today. People mock ambition. They laugh at big dreams. They say things like, why go to Mars when we have problems here? And I get it, Earth is far from perfect. But look around. Almost every problem we face was solved or softened by people who believed we could do better. Electric cars were a joke, rockets were for governments, AI was science fiction. Now, we're driving Teslas, we're landing boosters, we're building the future one impossible step at a time. Belief in the future isn't naive, it's necessary. Because if you don't believe in the future, if you truly think tomorrow will be worse than today, then what's the point of building anything? Why work hard? Why learn? Why innovate? That's why so many people feel lost. They're stuck in survival mode, disconnected from any larger meaning, just working, consuming, numbing themselves, waiting for the weekend, or for retirement, or for escape. But greatness doesn't wait. It demands that you wake up, that you pick a direction, that you stop scrolling and start building. Because this world won't change itself. And no one's coming to save it. It's on us. On you. You have more power than you think, more tools than any generation before you. With a laptop, a connection, and a few good ideas, you can launch something that touches millions. You can code, design, create, sell, connect, all from your room. And yet, most people never start. Why? Because they're afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid to look stupid. Afraid to be different. But let me tell you something. The people you admire, the legends, the billionaires, the icons, they were all afraid too. They just moved forward anyway. Fear is a signal. It tells you where to go, not where to stop. You want to believe in the future? Then go create it. Write the code, build the prototype, make the call, start the company, learn the thing, burn the excuses. Because belief is not a feeling. It's a decision repeated every day through action. And once you make that decision, once you choose to believe in the future, and in yourself, the world starts to bend, doors open, allies appear, momentum builds, and suddenly, you're not chasing success anymore. You're pulling it toward you by force of will, of clarity, of belief. Let's talk about greatness. Not the Instagram version, not the movie montage highlight reel. I mean real greatness, the kind you build when no one's watching, the kind that starts in silence and struggle and doubt. People think greatness is about winning, or fame, or wealth. It's not. It's about consistency. It's about waking up on the days you don't want to. It's about doing the thing when nobody cares yet. It's about pushing forward, even when you're tired, alone, and unsure. Greatness isn't about being chosen. It's about choosing yourself again and again. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need a sign from the universe. You just need to decide. Decide that your life matters. That your time here, however long, won't be wasted. Decide that you won't be just another consumer, another complainer, another cog. Decide that you will build something, whether it's a company, a mission, a movement, or a mind. Because here's the secret no one tells you. You already have everything you need. You have access to knowledge. You have access to people. You have access to tools kings and empires couldn't dream of a century ago. But what you might not have yet is the belief that you're worthy of greatness. So let me say it clearly. You are, not because of your background, not because of your credentials, but because you are human. And humans were born to build, to imagine, to reach beyond. Every great thing you see, every skyscraper, every rocket, every innovation started in one place, the mind of a person who refused to settle for less. That's the spark. And it's in you. But it needs fuel. It needs habits. It needs discipline. It needs you to say, no more waiting, no more someday. Today is the day I start. Start small, start messy, start uncertain. But start. You don't have to know the whole path, you just need to see the next step and take it. And if you keep taking steps, if you keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when it sucks, then one day you'll look up and realize you've become the kind of person other people admire. You've built something that matters. You've lived a life of meaning, not just motion. That's greatness. And it's not found in applause or awards. It's found in the way you move through the world with purpose, courage, and fire. Look, I'm not saying it'll be easy. If you choose the path of greatness, you'll bleed. You'll be misunderstood, mocked, rejected. There will be nights where you stare at the ceiling wondering if you made a huge mistake, but that's the tax on legacy. You pay in advance with your time, your sweat, your sanity to earn a life that means something. You want comfort? Stay average. You want peace? Follow the herd. You want impact? You want freedom? You want to be great? Then prepare for war, the internal kind, the kind where you fight your doubts, your excuses, your procrastination every single day. That's the battleground of success, and only a few ever win there. But here's the truth most people miss. The future belongs to the builders, not the critics, not the talkers, not the ones who wait for permission. The ones who build, brick by brick, in the face of chaos. We're standing at the edge of a new era. AI, space exploration, climate tech, neural interfaces, it's all unfolding. And the question is not, will the world change? It's, will you be one of the people changing it? Don't just be a passenger in history. Be a force. The people who shaped this world were never the ones who fit in. They were the outliers, the obsessed, the unreasonable. They were the ones who saw failure as feedback, who treated fear as fuel. And you have that potential. Right now, right here, not when you're older, not when you feel ready, not when someone gives you permission. Now, because you're alive in one of the most exciting, dangerous, and opportunity-rich moments in human history. You have one shot, one life, one story to write. Make it count. Don't settle. Don't coast. Don't let your dreams rot in a journal or a someday folder. Build, move, dare, lead, because the future isn't something we wait for, it's something we create. And if you choose to believe in yourself, radically, obsessively, defiantly, you might just become the person who changes everything. Not just for you, but for all of us.